Hey everybody, this is Pastor Bob, and this is Life with Luke number 56. In this past week, we finished up our 3 weeks of focusing on Luke chapter 15, 3 stories that Jesus tells about what it means to be lost and what it means to be found. In his book, The Man with Dirty Hands, author Curtis Leans tells of this ancient Asian legend. I want to read it for you. There was a boy who became involved with some ruffians in the village who persuaded him to raid his father's own property. After the robbery was over, the friends fled and left the son alone to face the guilt of his crime. And the young man was desperate. He was deserted by his friends, and he had betrayed the trust of his father. But his greatest crime was that he had brought public dishonor on the family name. And in a culture where ancestors are worshipped and family integrity is a sacred trust, this was the worst wrong of all. So, broken and deeply repentant, he went to his father and begged forgiveness. And graciously, it was granted. The father called all the members of the family together to celebrate the reconciliation and the return of his son. When all had enjoyed the banquet to the fullest, the father stood and lifted his cup of wine for a toast to the son. And as the son drank deeply of his cup, he grabbed his throat and fell lifeless across the table. He had been poisoned. The father, with ceremonial dignity, nodded to his guests. Each in turn graciously and politely bowed to the father as they silently left the banquet hall. All was now put right. His honor had been restored. The family integrity and honor were reestablished, and the unfortunate incident was closed. That's not the way the story is supposed to go, but that's the way we imagine that God is. And Jesus tells about a father in this parable in Luke 15. It's a story about two famous sons. One goes far off, the other is near, but they're both lost. But the real character, the real hero of the story is the father. You know, this is Israel's holy God, and he deserves to punish our sin, to punish our waywardness, how he likes. But Jesus is saying that's not God's first impulse. Yes, God is holy, but God is also merciful and compassionate, slow to anger, and abounding in love. That's the Father that we meet in Jesus. That's the Father Jesus invites us to turn to in repentance, to be totally restored and welcomed and celebrated. Can you believe in this kind of Father? Have a great week.